Hi, welcome to The Great Game. In this video, Ken Repel, the designer of 1812 War on the Great Lakes Frontier, takes us through a game scenario set in 1813 called The Fat Dog Bites. So, Ken, this is our first look at 1812 War on the Great Lakes Frontier.
Looks good.
And what we're looking at is a VASSAL module that's in development. It was developed by Mo from Mo's Game Table. Ken, this is your design, your baby.
Yes.
And so you're going to walk me through it. You're going to walk us through it.
All right, we'll have a conversation. So if you go to the playbook on page 38, you'll see that there's some instructions, if you will, for how you might look at the scenario. So you're playing the Continentals, right?
Right. Actually, they're Americans now because it's...
oh, yeah, you're right.
After the Constitution.
Yes. The Americans.
America exists.
The U.S. player in this. Maybe a little bit too much in Saratoga at this point. So if you look at there, we're playing the Fat Dog Bites.
Yeah.
So there's a letter there dated January 2nd, 1813 to General Winchester, which is a U.S. general. And he gives you some instructions what to do.
Yeah, it says, British regulars are gathering at Fort Malden and aimed directly at our outposts along the frontier. Under the present conditions, I think it wise that you and your command join me at the Maumee Rapids, where together we may combine and resist this effort. General Lewis's forces will complement this move by seizing the lines supplying their western armies. Signed, Major General W.H. Harrison. Is this an actual letter?
No, these are little instructions I made for the player to kind of know what they might want to do in the scenario.
I thought it would have been cool if these are actual artifacts.
Yeah, right on. No, these are artifacts from my own mind.
Insight into Ken Repel's mind.
Yes. It was akin to, and I think the old Avalon Hill say, the game pieces are set up. The map is laid. Now you are the general.
Oh.
That kind of thing. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah. Okay. So the orders for Henry Proctor, which is me, of course, I'll be Henry Proctor in this case, dated March 28th of 1813. It says, Major General Henry Proctor, it is essential that we regain the trust of Tecumseh and his warriors and punish the Americans. Therefore, you are to push the war to the Ohio Territory and strike at the garrisons there before they can be reinforced. Captain Barclay and his ships have been put at your disposal. God save the king, General George Prevost.
So that kind of sets up what we're trying to achieve.
Yes, that's what it's supposed to do.
I see.
Yeah, that space there is the Maumee Rapids.
Now, the Maumee River, the kind of lighter gray, that's actually a river hex, right?
Right. There's limits to what types of ships can go into the rivers. The gunboats can. Gunboats are defined as a vessel with a hull of 2.
And then in Erie, I've got some vessels under construction. I've got some gunboats. There are 2s. Then I've got a 3 and a 4. But they're all under construction, right?
Right. You're going to have to play a card to construct them.
All right. And you're just outside of Erie, right?
Yeah, blockading.
Yeah, you're blockading.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to have to confront each other.
Maybe.
Unless you evade.
Right.
Okay.
Now, why would you even want to come out and challenge my ships? Well, it's about lake control.
Yeah.
So who has lake control? You add up the hull points that you have. So take a look at Barclay's. He has 2, 4, 6, 10, 13 points of hull.
Wow.
If you look to the left, I've got way over there by Hunter, I've got another 3, okay?
Yeah.
Those might be all my vessels. So if you're out at sea, you're doubled as far as victory points goes. So 13, say I had 32 points of victory in Lake Erie. Right now you have a couple of guys up and to the right of Erie. But they're in your own port, so they're only ×1. But if you come out to sea, then they're ×2.
Okay.
They'd be worth 10 points. I'd still outnumber you. So to achieve victory, you have to have more hull points on the lake than the opponent. How do you get victory? You take a look at the towns. If you look along the bottom right, you'll see the towns are arranged triangle, square, pentagon, hexagon. They're in order of value. To the left, you'll see the VPs, victory points. So triangles basically are worth 2. A square is worth 4. A city, Okay. To the right is called the winter quarter value. If you're going to spend winter there, but we're not going to play the winter hand, so that we will basically ignore that. So like if you look at Pittsburgh, that's automatic victory if I can take that.
Okay. So how should we proceed?
The game length is 1 hand of 8 cards. The hand is considered to be the spring summer. So why don't we go ahead and draw 8 cards? Okay. So the U.S. will be the first player. Let's see. British full supply source Quebec, like we were saying, is replaced by Burlington, even if you burn it. U.S. player is granted, 10 VPs. So you get a handicap of 10 to start the game, okay, to balance it out.
Okay.
So you will be first. So what do? You're going to play a card. Read up your cards and take a look at them and know that you're going to play the number. Now, what does the number do for you? At the top of the one the player says, it says action phase. And it says 1 up, 1 up, 1 up. And it tells you what you can do with 1 operation point. Unit activation. Moving by land, bateau, and naval move. Costs 1 up. So you can move a unit with 1 up. A unit can be a leader, though, and move a bunch of guys with him. You can siege someone. You can move. The British can move a depot around. The U.S. cannot. You can construct vessels.
Now, one of my events is Noah Brown Shipbuilders. It's got a 2, but it also says that there's a special instruction that says unconstructed counters are removed from all U.S. vessels. So would that card give me 2 OP plus allow me to construct my vessels?
Yes.
Okay, that seems like a good thing to do.
I would agree.
Okay, so I play the card. Okay, play card there. It's in the upper left.
Okay.
So then I can...
So you always play the numbers first.
You always play the number first. So you got the
2 op.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to take Harrison and everyone under him, and I'm going to march them up there.
Here's the catch, though. To move, you have to roll 2 6-sideds. So let's say Harrison gets up there and Winchester falls short. So you have to the order might matter. You might move Winchester and see if he gets there and then make a decision on how to go.
Okay, let's try Winchester. So how much do I roll?
You're going to roll 2 6-sideds, and that says movement.
2 6-sided. All right, here goes. Doesn't look good. That's a 3.
Okay, see, so he falls short.
So it's 1, 2, 3 like that?
Yeah. Now, what does that represent? Oh, bad weather, bad orders, bad marching, this sort of thing.
So now I'm going to roll for Harrison, right?
Yep.
Oh, man.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Well, I'm not off to a good start.
No, you're plodding along. It must be muddy or something.
Yeah. So that's movement, and then I can remove the...
Yeah, now like I say, usually this is the British opportunity to block your event and say, no, you don't get that one.
Okay.
But in this game, we don't have a block event. You usually have 1 block event per hand.
So I can go ahead?
Yep. So remove all of them. So it's a good one to have. I don't know how that happened. Who would design a scenario where you get a card like that?
All right.
You won't need them anymore.
So I'm done with that card.
Yeah. Now we have, this is how the game's going to end. We only have 8 cards to play, but the game will end early. It's under end game determination segment.
Okay, yeah.
Because we're really supposed to do this, right now. The event segment, if you look right above, that was the event segment and all that kind of stuff. Okay, block event segment. Because I could have, if you go backwards, you see the block event segment. Well, that's where I could have blocked you. Then it was the event segment. Well, you took your stuff off. Then we come to the end game determination segment. This is where we see if the game ends. Now, generally, in this case, it doesn't matter. But this is how it goes. 1 map scenario, double I. Okay, at the conclusion of the event segment of the scenario, the friendly player will roll an 8-sider. Optionally, in all scenarios, you can roll a 6 for play a longer game. So you roll an 8-sider.
Okay. 6.
Now, is that more than the combined total of our hands? The game continues if the number rolled is less than or equal to the sum of the strategy cards in both players, both the friendly players' hands.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I have 8 and you have 7. That's 15.
Yeah, so we keep going.
Yeah, so we don't really need to roll the dice until we're down in the cards, okay?
Okay, but it could end randomly, so a lot sooner than you think. Yes, got it.
Yes, okay. Got it. Yeah, so do be aware.
And then at the end of that, we just add up our victory points. Is that it?
Yep. Yeah.
It's just simple as that. Okay.
Yep, there you go.
All right.
So it's going to be my go.
Okay,
I'm going to throw the card out. Oh, that's the window. Okay. So I go, oh man, what do I want to do? Okay. Proctor so high. It looks like something I might want to do. So it says the Proctor is non-isolated. I always do my number first, but you like to see what the event says, so you set it up. Mm-hmm. And Proctor is in Port Malden, that space he's in. If you look by the west end of Lake Erie, you'll see that some spaces have docks and some don't have little docks for your ships. Yeah. The more docks you have on that space, the more important you are. Okay,
the more ships you can hold, right?
Right. If you look at Erie, he's got 5 docks. That's your main base on the Lake Erie. Buffalo has 4. That'd be your secondary. You have also Sandusky. You're way off there. But my primary is up there at Fort Malden. I got 5 docks there. I got a castle there if you look underneath.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my main base. We like to have that. It's right at the opening of Detroit River and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's where Proctor's sitting. And if Proctor's not isolated, which he's not, and he occupies there, I can do a unit activation with him, and back toe movement automatically succeeds. So we'll get to that when I can do it. But what I want to do is think on that. I got to leave him where he is. I can't be running around. I got 1 point to spend. Now I have to leave. In order to control a space, you're going to have to leave a dude in there. I can't just abandon Detroit. Okay, let's take the guy in London and throw 2 dice, okay? We're going in a totally different direction.
Okay.
Here. See, maybe I ought to talk to him about the dice roller. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. You cannot, normal movement will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? But I can't end in the river, obviously.
Okay.
That'd be 4. So I'm going to go this way instead. Okay. But you do it right across the rivers. You just walk across them.
Okay. Now explain your reasoning. Why are you activating this?
I want to reinforce the left. I thought hopefully I could get a little bit better. You know what, though? I could actually. Let's back them up 1 space. If I start here, I could use bateau movement next time.
And that would allow you to go down the Thames River into Lake St. Clair and then Detroit River? Okay.
Right. So now I do the event, right?
Yeah, the special event, which allows you to activate Proctor.
He's going to do bateau movement. So bateau, that's movement by barges, canoes, anything but the ships. You can also put your guys on the actual ships and move them like that too. Okay, but bateau movement's only along the shore.
Yep.
What's the shore hex? Anything that's connected to a land. So this is a shore hex. This is a shore hex.
Yeah.
Because it's connected to that little island. This is a shore hex. I can cruise right across like this.
How far can you go?
15 hexes. 15 shore hexes. It's a roll, though. I can't just do it. I got to roll. This card says it's automatic, though.
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay, so let's go back. What else could I do, for instance, just as a buy? I could go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and maybe get between you. Make you attack me 1 dude at a time. My supply line, of course, is coming way across the way, an unlimited amount of hexes, all the way back to that hex with Shafe, okay? You can chase it right across that, right by Detroit, Sandwich. There's then across to Detroit, then down the thing. I own Brownsville and Frenchtown and right to those guys. Maybe this is the way to go and keep you separated. I could go to the fort, But let's go over here. Seems more fun. So you may go.
All right. So that puts me in a pickle. I haven't looked at my cards yet, but I feel like either I should go after Proctor since you put him there and maybe roll the dice and see if I can knock him out. But I also feel like contesting your control of the lake.
Now there is, if you'll take a look at Erie Harbor, very closely, there's some lightly colored area there. That's the sandbar. You know, in all the map, there's got to be a special hex. Well, there was a reason for this one, of course, because the U.S. had a hard time. They had to wait until the British left before they could bring their ships over the top of it. And the way they brought them over the top was by taking all the guns off the boat, then pulling them over the sandbar, then putting everything back on. So it was a big process. They couldn't do that with these dudes sitting right there, right? So what happens is, legend has it, but who knows about the truth, is that Barclay goes to have dinner with the widow of someone over there just north in Port Dover and abandons his post. But the reality was he went back to get supplies. But people want to say, I think, that he went to Port Dover to, visit the widow of someone, and then abandoned his post, and then the Americans broke out, right? Nonetheless, they broke out. That's the point.
Okay. But in order to engage you, I have to occupy the same hex you're occupying, right?
Yes, you have to move into it.
And I can't do it if you're blockading because of the sandbar, right?
There is I'm going to have to look at that sandbars. Sandbar. Hey, it's in the index. Good. 12.3. Let's see what 12.3. Moving on to, friendly Commodores and vessels pay 1 RMP when moving through hexes. Okay, that's 1. Got it. Okay. Exception. Friendly Commodores and vessels entering a hex occupied by an enemy pay 4. Okay. Friendly Commodores and ships crossing the Presqu'île pay 4. Gunboats pay 2. So it costs 4 to move across the sandbar, okay?
If you're occupying that hex, right?
Yeah.
So there's a chance I can engage you.
Yeah. It's going to cost you, let's see if there's anything else, 15.4 to tell you, okay? Oh, you cannot evade over the Presqu'île sandbar. Okay, you cannot. So you can't go back once you came.
Okay.
All right. How about 1944? Any ship that enters combat directly crossing the Presqu'île sandbar suffers a -1 to your hull. What might you do? I mean, if you want to know what you might do, I can tell you that. But that's not about rules. That's more about, what might you do? You might take, if I can't break out of there, I might take the best ship you got in Black Rock, the Caledonia, and sail them directly west at the Hunter. If you put them right there, you block my supply. You cannot do that with a gunboat. Okay, it has to be at least a 3 or more. Now you go, hey man, that makes me have to either chase you down or, have to battle you with Hunter and hope I win.
Okay, well, you know what? Let's try fair winds then. I'll play the card.
Okay, so always do the numbers first. So you could move the guy with the first point, then do the fair winds and do another unit activation and double it.
Okay, well, let's activate the Caledonia.
Yeah.
2 6-sided. Boom. 5, 10.
Okay. So you have to go out through the docks, okay?
So the first movement has to be here, right?
Yeah, 1.
2.
Now, 3. Right there, hold on. I did neglect to tell you that I have a fort there, and you can't just pass under my guns without taking a shot. Right?
Oh, of course. Okay.
Okay. So move them down south into Fort Erie.
Like that?
And then I get to take a shot at you, of course. Now, if you pull down the naval battle board, put your ship on A1.
A1 would be here, right?
Yeah. And then there's one called the Port Harbor Defense. Let me find it. Here it is.
Okay.
Okay. So those are the guns of my fort, if you will. They're always put in the reserve. The strength is determined by how many docks you have. Well, I only have 1 dock, so I'm weak. 1 or 2 docks has a hull value of 2. Well, you have 3, and it gets 1 8-sided for its dice. So then I'm going to, it's simultaneous. So I'm going to throw an 8-sided dice and I'm going to attempt to get 3 or more. No. So you're going to throw 3 6-siders. Okay.
Here goes.
Oh,
that's a lot.
Okay. So I have a hull of 2. So each, that's 2 hits, right? 1 hit. Now, you see I'm at number 2 if you look at my value now.
Yeah.
Okay. If I take a hit and it's equal to my hull, that's sunk. I'm going to put the piece off to the side.
So the shore battery is out, right?
Yes. Now, you can keep moving, if you will. Put your guy back on the board and continue your movement. That was 2 hexes.
Okay, so that's 2, 9, 10.
Oh, one other thing. Once you left the harbor, okay, you have the port and you have the harbor. The port is the land hex. The harbor is the part with the dock.
Right.
Okay. Once you left Fort Erie's harbor, his guns go back to normal. If the Summers was to go through, he'd have to fight it again.
Oh.
Okay.
So we didn't knock out the guns.
No, you just went through them, neutralized them and went through. They just come right back.
Now, the event that I'm playing, Fair Winds, I have 2 OPs, right? Can I take Winchester?
Yes. And roll them up.
Let's do that.
Yeah, and see what he gets.
Okay, here comes Winchester. Oh my God, holy Snake Eyes.
Wow.
1, 2. That's it, right?
Yeah, he's got the slows, as they say.
Oh, man. But now the event says I can perform 1 unit activation with a Commodore or vessel and double its RMPs. Well, let's take the Caledonia. 10 is 20, right?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Or just get next to the road and just make me attack you or something. Even 1 north. If you go 1 hex north, then you block 2 road.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What do you got?
Me go? All right. Well, I have to do something with your ship with the Caledonia there with Hunter. So we're going to have to send Hunter to battle him. And let's see, though.
Now, explain to me why he's blocking. So is there such a thing as a zone of control here?
Kind of. Yes. He has a zone. And again, gunboats don't. So your other guy, 2 strength vessels are gunboats. So he would not be able to do this. The other guy, Summers. Okay. So you're blocking 2 road hexes, which basically would mean I'd have to put units in those hexes, right?
Yeah.
To neutralize that. If you look down by Erie, down in the lower right of Lake Erie, the reason why the Pittsburgh Blues is there is to keep that supply line open.
Oh.
That's why that unit's sitting there, so Barkley can't. Because if I move here, you know what happens? All those other dudes are out of supply. Partial supply. Okay. But if I leave that post, then you might come running out.
Exactly.
All right, we're going to do this. All right, so I got 2. So I am going to take Hunter. And the first thing I'm going to do is see if I can drive you off, okay? And then if I can drive you off, I don't have to worry about anything with Proctor. I can just leave him there. So let's see if Hunter can drive off Caledonia. I have to roll 2 6-sided. He's going to have to get at least 1 5 because it costs 4 to enter your hex.
Okay.
Okay, so I have to get at least 5. And seeing these dice, I don't know. I might not get it. Here we go. No. The winds are against me. Just get closer or stay where I am. Because where I am, if there's a battle in Frenchtown, I can affect it. It gives me a modifier. So I don't want to abandon that post. That's a critical spot on Lake Erie for both sides. If you control it, I can't go any farther. If I control it, it's harder for you to go any farther. So anyway, I'm just going to stay where I am, and maybe next time I'll just get a 5. Yeah, moving 1 is no good. But Proctor can't stand, I don't think, because you will definitely attack him. You'll put a flanker on him and everything, probably kill him. And it'll be -1 because it'll be bad supply. So let's move Proctor with the 2nd point, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, that's too bad. Here you go. So he can move 9. We're just going to move back to Frenchtown. And this way I can, if you move, you'll have to leave a unit right there so that you don't have partial supply if you attack me. And I'll have protection of a boat. Now I can place the gunboat, though. So the event says, place the constructed gunboat in any non-isolated British-controlled port and territory, blah, blah, blah. You can't be overstacked, of course. You got to pay attention to the amount of docks you have. Then I can move him, perform an activation with him. Okay? So here's the thing. If I put him here, you've got me blocked.
Yeah.
And if I come out, I could battle you. But that's a 1 6-sided versus, 3 6-sided. That's not too good. It's a brig versus a gunboat. Let's put it to you that way.
Okay.
That's not a good matchup. So I don't like that matchup. So maybe I put him over here and stop the other boat from doing some nonsense or something. I don't know. Let's roll 2 6 and move him, okay?
Okay.
Here. How about 8? So he can join his fleet and totally block you in. Maybe that's what he'll do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just say, hey, man, there's another there. Now you got another guy to take out.
Oh, boy.
Okay, fine. We'll just do that.
Okay.
All right. Well, you pushed me back out of the mommy rapids. So again, we'd roll for the end of the thing, but I'm down to, not enough cards to end the game.
Okay.
I have 6 and you have 6. Okay, roll on.
Okay. Well, now I'd like to see if I can take care of Proctor. Okay, I'm looking at a card called Attack on Fort George. If Fort George is British controlled, which it is, place Scott, 1 seniority star, 15th and Forsyth regulars in Fort George. That just means pick them up and put them in Fort George, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They made an amphibious landing.
Okay. After any combat, U.S. receives 1 siege warfare activation. Well, that looks like an interesting card to play.
Yeah. He waited ashore, under the bayonets and everything.
Let's do that then. Okay, we're going to play that card.
Yeah, the young from Winfield Scott was a strapping fellow.
Now, the first thing I do is I use my movement points, right?
Yeah, you got 2
my
points.
OPs.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take a shot at activating Harrison and see if I can pick up Winchester.
Yeah.
If that doesn't work, then I can pick up Winchester, right?
Yeah, depending on how you do it.
Well, let's see what happens.
Okay.
Maybe you could advise me, but I'm trying to get Harrison and Winchester both into play against Proctor.
I would throw the dice and see, like you're saying, and see if you can roll a 10. If you roll a 3, then you're like, no.
So let's do that. Let's take Harrison. Let's roll for him. Here goes. It's not great. Okay, I'm going to leave Harrison there, and I'm going to try and activate Winchester. So 2 6-sided. Here goes. Oh. So now I can move in there, right?
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 7. Yeah. So I can just evade if I want and just leave.
True.
I don't have to roll and just say, man, I'm out of here. But you know what? I'm looking at our guys and they're practically equal.
So
but I'm not going to let
do?
that. We're going to battle.
Okay. So let's see how this plays out.
Now, this is how it's supposed to roll, right? You're supposed to put your guys. Let's put our guys on there. Now, we're supposed to not know how you do your dudes, and that's kind of critical. So we'll have to figure something out with that.
Okay. Well, this is something that we have to fix in VASSAL, right?
So try not to look at my guys.
Yeah, right.
Here's basically the bottom line. You have to put a guy in the center lead.
Well, what if I put 1 in each flank and I put 1 in reserve? What do you think about that?
That would be a normal move. Now, do I know that? No, because you might go, hey, man, I want to put my guys all on the left. Yeah, let's try this just for fun.
Okay.
Now, really, you don't know what I'm going to do, and I don't know what you're going to do. So you do it on the side, and then you put it out there, and the guy goes, oh, crap.
Okay.
Okay, so you're also supposed to pick before you reveal. Go to your cards, and you'll see attacker and defender. What you want to do is to look at the attacker deck, and then it'll have 5 choices.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Now, if you have the player's aid again, you're going to see a combat posture matrix. So you're the attacker, right? I'm the defender. So you're going to choose a card without telling me, right? So if you look underneath, though, there are some things you can do. Like, for instance, like in this case, I'm thinking to myself, well, I don't know what you're really supposed to do, but I do know what you're doing. So let's say I have premonition, and I go, man, he's going to do this. All right. Oh, thinking that. Oh, I'm going to do a refused flank. Because I know that my special ability, if you look underneath there, says the friendly player receives a +2 battle strength modifier for the center firing position if the enemy qualifies for flanking. That'll neutralize that guy that you're saying you're going to flank me with. So I say, hey, man, I'm going to do that one. I'm going to do a refused flank because my setup says I need to do it because otherwise you could flank me. So I have a premonition that you're going to try to put a guy in the right flank and try to flank me. So I'm going to do a refused flank, okay? You hold out your cards. You have a card. So you hold out the thing you're doing. I hold out the thing I'm doing, saying I'm ready. You say I'm ready. We put our cards down, okay? So I'm going to be on the refused flank defender, and you're going to be on, the line advance. You're going to get a 6 and an 8-sider. I'm going to get 2 6-siders, if you will. Now, yours says negates the refused flank advantage. So you negate my +2 by playing that. So I don't get the +2. Okay, fine. So if you look under there, there's some battle strength modifiers. Okay. If I'm doing an amphibious, that'll give you a modifier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you're coming across a river or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have anything like that. Combat posture is a dice. A friendly commander. Well, my commander, if you look at Proctor, he's 1 on the defense. You're 0 on the offense. So I'll be +1.
Okay.
I have offshore support. That ship next to me. That's 2. Combat cards. No, not in this case. Have to have pre-combat, if you will, not post. Okay. Do you have anything?
I have 2 reaction cards, but I don't think they apply.
Okay, so partial supply. That's what you have when you're blocking my supply. If you had a dude on there, like an actual man on the space, then it would be, out of supply, isolated, if you will. That takes 1 back for you because you have that ship there. Okay. Am I isolated? No, that's if you had, surrounded, basically, Flanking volley. Well, you're going to have a flanking volley because you always do the center first. Okay, so the attacker's going to do the center, then the attacker's right flank, then the attacker's left flank. It goes in that order. So we're going to do the center, and you're going to have 2 back for the flanking volley, right? Because you have a guy in the right, and I don't have a guy in the left. So that's 1 for you now, right? But I have the reserve advantage because I got 2 guys in the reserve, and you don't. If you look at there, if 2 more regiments than the enemy, then you get a modifier, okay? So, even. So I'm going to roll 2 6-siders. You're going to roll, a 6 and an 8.
And the modifiers are even out.
Yep, here you are.
Okay.
How about 6?
Okay, well, I'm going to roll the white first. Yep. Here goes. Well, that's good. And then 1 8-sided. That's
9.
Good.
Okay, so 9 6, yeah. If the difference is 1 to 9, then I'm going to lose a step, okay? So there.
Okay. Now, did I make you retreat or what?
No, we're going to go to the right, your right flank. But I got no one there, so forget it. So let's go to the left flank. Well, we do our modifiers again, but the difference here is that you don't have a flank on this guy, right? So I'm probably going to be +2. So I'll roll 2 6-sided, add 2. Okay. How about, 6 total.
And then I do the same as before?
Yep, 6 and an
8. Okay, here goes 1. That's good. 1 8. Oh, wow.
So I got 6 to 13. So again, that's going to kill me. So come to the end of the round, right? And I have to decide whether I'm going to stay or should I stay or should I go? And so do you. So if you look at your cards on your mat, you're going to see one that says evade and one that says combat.
Yeah.
So select one of those so they're obvious what your plan is. There. So, I'm going to leave, okay?
So what happens? You're evading?
Yeah, so I'm going to split. I'm going to take my dudes and leave town. Okay, from, their hex, if you will. We'll go 1, 2, or 3. So how about
Okay, so now I put my guys in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we had an engagement. We won. We're happy.
Yep.
The orders from Major General Harrison have been carried out.
Yes, yes. So I'm going to throw down some card, though. Post-combat card.
Oh.
Boom. If I have a Native American warrior in the battle, it's a post-combat.
Yeah, okay.
Then I'm going to draw a card and roll a dice. And it's going to be an 8-sider, okay? How about a 6?
6 means U.S. suffers 1 step loss from the U.S. regiment.
Not a circle guy. Those are militia. So someone with Winchester, someone with Winchester has to take some.
Reduce strength, so he's down to a 1.
Right on.
Okay.
So it also says I can play one more. Usually you can only play 1 post-combat, but this one says British guy play 1 additional because I have this one. Winchester captured. Then I'm going to roll a dice and hopefully capture Winchester and take him out of the game. How about a 4? So take Winchester and you can just put him off to the side, eliminate him, or whatever you got to do.
Eliminate. Okay, he's gone.
Right. So we come back to the attack on Fort George, right?
Yes, we do. So they did an amphibious landing and they ended up... So I take these guys, I guess.
Yeah, and shove them right on top of on Fort George. And you can see how combat goes. You'll kill me. So my dudes are going to run into the castle. Okay, we'll stay in there and make a siege. Now, it says you get a free siege, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, with 0 Dyro.
But there's no combat. You're just in the fort?
Yeah. So, yep. No combat. I'm running inside, if you will.
Okay, U.S. receives 1 siege warfare activation. So I put a siege marker on him right there like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Now, you get a free siege roll, so 0 Dyro modifiers to either players. So, you would add up your strength, which is what? 10? So you're going to be on the 10 to 14 column, if you will. I shall be on the 1 to 3 column. No Dyro modifiers.
All right, here goes 1 8-sider. 5.
All right, 5. That would be 2, right? So I'm going to roll on the 1 to 3, okay? I roll a 2. Dang, nabbit. So you take 2 steps on me, right? So,
How many steps do you have to give?
Well, that's 1. And the fort would have to be the last one, right? So, eliminate. And since you have more losses than me, 2 to 0, he surrenders. So you take the fort. Okay. If you score more death on me than I score on you, it's captured. If it's equal, then it's not captured.
So delete the cannon. And Scott is successful. Their daring move succeeds.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to try this, I think. How about, boom. Okay. So let's try Tecumseh. Here you go. 2 6-siders.
Okay.
How about 5? We're going to move him in with his, I think we'll take those. We'll take the Shawnee instead.
Now you got to leave 1 guy behind to occupy Detroit, or do you automatically have a garrison in there?
No, I got to leave a guy. Okay, we'll put him with Proctor, okay? No craziness. Okay, we'll leave him like that. But we're going to do the event.
Yeah.
The night attack at Stony. So, let's take the first Newfoundland guy. This guy way over on the left by Fort Malden.
Okay, yeah.
And pull out your 19th. Yeah, we're going to go head to head with my card. It's a British regiment, so I think I'm going to go at that. So we're each going to roll an 8-sider, okay? And it's going to be head to head. I don't have any kind of strength on you, nothing. So how about an 8-sider event's an 8-sider? Here you go. How about a 4?
And then I roll an 8-sider?
Yep.
Oh.
Okay. So it says the side with the lower result suffers 1 step loss. The tie has no effect. Okay.
Eliminate then, right?
Yep. All right. Okay. So they got lucky on that. We'll put this guy back. Oops.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all for now. Thanks for watching. This has been The Great Game.